The dad card was bent in my hand. After what you did to Mom, you don't get this word. Emily had shoved it at me outside the men's room before I could reach my chair. Through the door, Adrian Whitmore's calm British voice said, "Once Emily signs, the guest house is protected." I touched the envelope in my jacket and stepped back into the restaurant. Emily put the bent card in front of Adrian, picked up the pen beside his leather folder, and looked straight at me. "He's my real dad, not you." Nobody moved. Adrian covered her wrist with his hand. "Go ahead, darling." He turned a folder toward her. On the first page, I saw my late ex-wife's name above 3 words, C-L-A-R-E, Carter Goose Husto's Trust. That was why he wanted me at Father's Day dinner. He wanted me watching while my daughter signed her mother's Newport guest house into his hands. "Emily," I said, "don't sign that." Her pen stopped. Then she laughed once. "You stopped me from saying goodbye to my mother, and now you're worried about her house?"
Well, now I understand why she is this angry.
Every face at the table turned toward me. 7 years earlier, Claire was dying in a hospital in Warwick, Rhode Island. Adrian sent me papers that appeared to show Emily trying to take control of the guest house while her mother was barely conscious. I did not call the attorney. I did not ask my daughter one quiet question. I stormed into that hospital hallway and accused her in front of nurses, cousins, and the man who had handed me the lie. Emily cried. I raised my voice. Security kept her away from Claire's door until everyone calmed down. By the time they let her back inside, her mother was gone.
That is the kind of mistake that doesn't just hurt someone for a day. Now I understand why Emily can't just forgive him because he showed up with the papers.
My daughter lost her last goodbye because I chose anger before truth. "I know what I took from you," I said. "No," Emily said. "You remember what you did. I live with what it cost." Adrian folded his hands. His jacket was neat. His voice stayed soft. "Daniel, this evening was meant to give Emily peace. By signing away her mother's house, by relieving her of a burden," he said. Somebody had to be dependable. That word hit because after the divorce, I had made distance easy. I owned Carter Auto Repair in Cranston, but I let my own daughter become a problem. I stopped trying to repair. Emily lifted the pen again. "I invited you because Adrian said closure mattered," she said. "You can watch me protect the one thing Mom trusted me with. Then open this first." I placed my envelope beside his folder. Adrian did not touch it. He looked at Emily with patient concern. "He heard about tonight's transfer and arrived with papers to frighten you. This is exactly the chaos I tried to spare you." Emily pushed my envelope back. "Not tonight. You don't get to turn Mom's house into another accusation." My first move died on the table. I had proof, but I was still the man who had used papers to destroy her once. Adrian signaled the server. "Perhaps we should order." An older man near the host stand stopped with menus in his hands. "Daniel Carter?" "Yes." "Tom Alvarez," he said. "Claire used to bring Emily here when my wife and I ran the front room." His eyes moved to the DAD card in front of Adrian, and his smile faded. "Miss Carter," he said carefully, "there's something on that wall I always thought your family might come back for." He walked to a brick wall crowded with old customer photographs and lifted down a narrow wooden frame. Emily was 16 in the picture, alone in the window booth with a wrapped gift beside her plate. Silver paper, blue ribbon, red eyes, straight back, like she refused to look abandoned. Tom placed it in front of her. "Father's Day," he said. "You waited nearly 3 hours." Emily stared at it. "Why do you have this? Your mother asked us to take a picture when your dad arrived. When he didn't, you wrote something on the back and asked us to leave it on the family wall. You said maybe he'd see it one day." Tom turned the frame over. Emily read the faded handwriting in a whisper. "Adrian said Dad called and refused to come. I bought him the wrench keychain anyway. I don't know why I keep trying."
That line hurts because she was still hoping for her dad back then, and now it looks like both of them were being played from the start.
Her eyes lifted toward Adrian. I placed one folded sheet beside the photograph. I was coming, I said. Then I received this from your number. Don't come. Adrian is my father now. I don't want to see you. Stop making this harder. Emily shook her head. I never sent that. I believe you now. I should have found out then. Adrian did not panic. That was what made him dangerous. He studied the message, then looked at Emily with quiet sadness. Before you let him rewrite your childhood, he said, ask why he kept that message for 12 years and never showed it to you. Why didn't he fight for you?
This is what makes Adrian dangerous. He's not just lying, he's using Daniel's real mistakes to keep control of Emily.
The room shifted back toward him. Because the question was fair. I had kept the message because it spared me from trying again. I should have shown you, I said. Adrian nodded. Exactly. And none of this changes the hospital. No, I said. It doesn't. But it changes whether she signs tonight. I opened my envelope and set down 2 sets of papers. The first set is what Adrian sent me before I accused you. It made it look like you were taking ownership of the guest house from your mother. Emily stared at the pages. Mom asked me to handle reservations. Nothing more. The second set came from Claire's attorney, Miss Rosen. Your authorization covered daily operations only. No ownership transfer, no sale authority. Mark pulled both versions closer. Emily, the dates don't match, neither do the initials beside this amendment. Adrian finally moved. Mark, you are not an estate attorney. Families dealing with illness produce drafts. That is not sinister. For a second, it almost sounded reasonable. Then Emily turned the leather folder and a loose page slid out beside her plate. She read the heading aloud. Preliminary Acquisition Inquiry Newport Harbor Hospitality Group. Below it was Claire's guest house address. Below that, Adrian Whitmore, trustee representative. Emily looked at the date. This was sent 3 weeks ago. I hadn't agreed to your trust 3 weeks ago. Adrian reached for the page. Mark took it first. It was an inquiry, Adrian said. The building needs repairs. I was testing options so you would not be trapped by sentiment. Emily's voice dropped. You were speaking to a buyer about my mother's house before you had permission to control it. I was protecting you. Like you protected me from Dad. For the first time, Adrian's calm answer came late. Then he found the one truth that could still hurt me. Whatever you think of me, he said, Daniel is the reason you missed Claire's final moments. He was the man in that hallway. Emily looked at me. Did he make you do that? Did Adrian force you to shame me while Mom was dying? There were easier answers. None of them belonged in that room. He gave me the lie, I said. I chose what I did with it. Emily looked down at the photograph, the hospital papers, and the buyer inquiry. I saw the trust notice last week, I said. The wording felt familiar. I found the same language in the papers I used against you. Ms. Rosen told me not to let you sign until she reviewed everything. I should have checked 7 years ago. I didn't. But I wasn't going to let him use what I did to you to take what your mother left you. Adrian rose slowly. Emily, grief makes people vulnerable. Your father is exploiting a photograph and a draft inquiry because he cannot accept that you chose the parent who stayed. He reached for the folder. Emily placed her hand over it first. Don't. Adrian held her gaze. You know who was there for you. Do I? She said. Or do I only know who kept showing up after making sure he didn't? I stayed at my end of the table. Don't trust me, because I'm your father, I told her. Send every page to Ms. Rosen tonight. Let someone outside this family tell you what's real. Emily turned to Mark. Photograph every page, now. Mark took out his phone. Adrian said her name once, sharp enough that people at the next table looked over. Emily. She pulled the bent dad card away from his plate. I'm not signing anything tonight, she said. And until my attorney tells me exactly what you did, you stay away from the guest house. At the door, Adrian looked back at her. When this settles, remember who was there when he chose not to be. Emily held the old photograph against the folder. I remember too much now, she said. That's the problem. He left. Nobody celebrated. Watching my daughter realize that the man who comforted her may have helped create her pain did not feel like winning. Tom handed Emily the original photograph. I slid my papers toward Mark, not toward myself. Emily watched me do it. You still made me miss Mom, she said. I know. His lies don't give that back. I know. She nodded once. It was not forgiveness. It was only the first time in 7 years she had let me speak without walking away. The document review lasted 6 weeks. Ms. Rosen confirmed that Claire's original papers gave Emily daily operating authority only. The copies Adrian had supplied before the hospital confrontation did not match them. The trust agreement would have given him broad authority over management and any proposed sale, and he had no authority to approach a buyer for Emily. Emily kept the guest house. Adrian was removed from every discussion about it. I went back to Carter Auto Repair and stopped writing apologies that quietly asked my daughter to make me feel better. I mailed one letter. I told her what I believed, what I failed to check, and what I chose to do. I mentioned Adrian once. I mentioned my responsibility more. 4 months after Father's Day, a padded envelope arrived at my shop. Inside was the old photograph, cleaned behind new glass in a plain wooden frame. Emily had added a note beneath the words she wrote when she was 16. I'm not ready to call you Dad again, but I'm ready to hear the truth. I sat at my workbench with that photograph beside a box of sockets. The dad card had not become mine again because Adrian had been exposed. Maybe earning any part of that word back would take years. But for the first time since Claire died, my daughter had not locked the door between us. She had opened it just wide enough for me to start telling the truth.
That ending feels like, I don't have words, but I would say forgiveness did not happen in one moment. Only the door opened a little, and honestly, sometimes that small opening is the biggest miracle. So I'll catch you in the next. Thank you.